Hey guys, today we will be talking about the IS curve in the ISMP model. So first of all, let's take a look at the ISMP model. Basically, the IS curve displays a negative relationship between the real interest rate, which is located on the vertical axis, and total output, which is on the horizontal axis. As we can see from the graph, the horizontal line, which is the blue line, is MP curve, which means monetary policy, and it is downward sloping line. The IS curve, which is orange color line, represents good market equilibrium, and we will be focusing on this one today. Here's a graph about the goods market equilibrium. The 45-degree upward line is aggregate expenditure, as known as total spending. That includes C plus I plus G plus NX. In this equation, C is consumption, I is investment, G is government spending, and NX is net export minus imports. Y, which is the real GDP, is the total value of goods produced. At the point E, we can see that Y is equal to AE, which is the goods market equilibrium point, because the total value of goods produced is exactly the same as total spending. On the upper side, AE is smaller than Y, because some goods that were produced were not totally purchased. Therefore, inventories will rise, and Y and employment will decline. On the downside, AE is larger than Y, and spending was greater than the amount of goods that were produced. Therefore, inventories would fall. So, what would be the shifters of IS curve? There are actually two factors that will impact it. The first one is changing in the real interest rate, because it will make a movement along the IS curve. And another is that any factors that impact aggregate expenditure will also impact the IS curve. For example, suppose government spending decrease, it will lead to aggregate expenditure decrease, and eventually IS curve will shift to the left. If investment is increasing, which means aggregate expenditure will also increase, and IS curve will shift to the right. Now, let's go through an example together. Suppose that consumers become pessimistic about the state of the economy and future productivity growth. What would happen to the IS curve? You can pause the video for a second and think about the concept we just learned. Alright, first of all, since consumers believe that the future economy will be worse than today, they are not willing to spend money, which means they will decrease the consumption, which is a C. Remember we just learned just now. Consumption's decrease lead to aggregate expenditure decrease, and IS curve shift to the left. As we can see on the graph, the real interest rate is now changing because monetary policy is not changing, but the output is decreasing.